Hey, you're listening to Bookmark My Words. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Sarah.
Thank you for joining us today. As always, please like, subscribe, share, thumbs up, do any of those things that you're supposed to do. Just helps us out in the algorithm. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
We're not on Apple Music.
All those other places. Anyway, how was your week?
It was good.
Did you remember?
I do not remember what I was going to talk about.
I'll start first. My toe feels better.
That's good. It's looking a lot better.
It is looking a lot better.
You can walk and put on shoes.
I can walk. I can almost put on shoes. I still haven't tried putting on tennis shoes.
Ooh, yeah, no, I wouldn't do that yet.
I'm like terrified that the back part, like the part of my toenail that's like attached to like, where it grows out like you're out of your skin. I'm terrified that that's just gonna like pop off and just like pop.
It's gonna take a long time before that'll happen.
Like we're not gonna. So I went and bought me new shoes. I've been wanting them for a while, but I mean like they're not what I wanted. They're Walmart brand, so because I was like we're about to go on vacay, me and Mom, so nothing like beach wise. But you really forgot.
I really did. I have no idea what I was gonna talk about. Something good happened this week. What it was, I don't know.
I'm literally gonna leave it like that. Something good happened this week.
You should, because it was a good week. I don't know. This next week coming up, I'm volunteering at Vacation Bible School.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be very tired. But
very
it's
tired.
Be very fulfilling.
Those kids are so much fun, though.
They are. Though
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I do the special needs, and to watch them worship,
they're full of the Spirit.
Yes. Like,
they really are.
They will move you. I cry every year that I volunteer.
I know, honestly. I've seen you.
Like, honestly, every year. So, but I've got that coming up. But last week, I don't know what I did. We fed the raccoon.
Oh, yeah, we did feed Trashy.
Our Trashy, we tried to feed him Doritos. The Dorito bag wasn't there when we went back yesterday. Did you notice that?
It was in the woods. I saw it.
So he
got it.
He got our...
Trashy is the raccoon that we feed at our second job.
He took our offering.
He lives in the dumpster. I felt bad because they had just emptied the dumpster and then the people didn't throw away any food
stuff. They didn't have any food this week.
So I was like, you should give him a bag of chips, because she had some chips in her car, and she was like, what would I do with it? And I went...
I was really kind of hoping I'd have a Disney princess moment, and he'd just,
grab it from you?
Take it from me.
I don't know, because sometimes they get scared, too, and they're like, drop it, so they'll, kind of lunge at you. Haven't you seen those videos?
No, I've only seen the Disney princess ones. So they, lunge at you?
Yeah, so they'll, lunge at you because they're worried that you're not gonna give them the food.
Oh.
Which makes sense when someone explained it. I was like,
oh. Like tease them. Aw. I bet there are people that tease them, though.
That's so mean.
I would never tease them.
But yeah, we had interesting stories today between a toe and a raccoon.
Raccoons! You guys just gotta tune in. You never know what you're gonna hear about.
Yeah, we got interesting. It's summertime. There's nothing going on.
There's nothing in our lives happening.
I'm not at work.
My kids aren't in town.
We do have a more relaxing show today. Sarah's got her book, and then we've got some... Yeah, she finally finished it.
And it's not spooky at all.
It just has witch in the title.
I Googled, when you told me we were doing summerween.
I know.
I Googled top spooky books. Something about Google took over and did its thing. And I looked through them, and of course, looked for one of the highest ones that was not 1,000,000 pages. And this was The Witch of Blackbird Pond. Ding! Winner. Definitely not 1,000,000 pages, but took me 1,000,000 years. It's only 272 pages, and I've read it all month.
So I did find out, though...
It's not a bad book.
It's not a bad book, but it is... That actually used to be taught in 7th and 8th grade curriculum.
Oh, that makes sense.
So that probably is why...
I struggled.
You struggled, because if it's anything I don't know why teaching books to me...
It's like a juvenile.
Yeah.
It did kind of have a juvenile feel to it.
Yeah, pre-young adult, preteen vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, those I struggle with sometimes.
It had a happy ending.
Yeah.
For everybody, including the witch.
Just FYI, if my hat disappears, it's because I got my hair up and I don't want to take it down. So if it just all of a sudden it's not there anymore, it's not magic. It's just
she's not.
I got tired of it and just went bloop. But yeah. So you'll be doing yours, and then I've got a list because Sarah's like, I don't know if I can do a whole hour of that.
Unless I tell you literally the whole entire book.
But and
Which,
then
I mean, I can do that, but
I've got a list of books that's on my TBR that's like spooky, horror.
No, that just sounded like you said a bad word.
The other day I had to mute you like 4 or 5 times, Sarah. I did. I was like, I don't know if YouTube's gonna allow us to speak like that. Mute, mute. So you had like.
What did I say?
It was kind of funny because you were just like,
Oh, hell.
And then another time you went. I was like, wow, Sarah, you're not even giving me a second here. Mute, like, so you just look like you're going.
I didn't know you could mute that. That's
Yeah.
funny, too. It's like when you watch a movie on
And it's
cable.
like, beep. Yeah.
And they say poop, but they're not saying poop.
Anyway,
Oh.
Sarah's had an energy drink.
Yes.
So, but I have some honorable mentions on my TBR list. I've even written down, because I know Sarah's going to ask, how
page
big
numbers?
is the page? I wrote down the page numbers.
You're learning.
And how long it's an audiobook listen. Oh, yeah. So,
bonus.
So for you guys to, hey, I want to read
If
this.
you're like me.
Yeah, and you're like, what? And I figured out if you read around 300 pages, that's 8 hours.
Yeah, that's about what my audiobooks usually run.
So a lot of these, except for
honestly,
one,
if it's longer than 8 hours, I'm like, not today, babe.
especially not today.
Not today, babe.
I can't believe you're still drinking that. It's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
It's okay. That's a tomorrow problem.
Yeah, people at work are gonna be like, Sarah's not doing well today.
I have another one in the fridge, so I'll just pop it in tomorrow and just and then crash at VBS.
All right. So, what's your book?
So, my book is The Witch of Blackbird Pond by Elizabeth George Speare. And the synopsis is 16-year-old Kit Tyler is marked by suspicion and disapproval from the moment she arrives on the unfamiliar shores of colonial Connecticut in 1687. Alone and desperate, she has been forced to leave her beloved home on the islands of Barbados and join a family she has never met. Torn between her quest for belonging and her desire to be her true self, Kit struggles to survive in a hostile place. Just when it seems she must give up, she finds a kindred spirit. But Kit's friendship with Hannah Tupper, believed by the colonists to be a witch, proves more taboo than she could have imagined, and ultimately forces Kit to choose between her heart and her duty. Elizabeth George Speare won the 1959 Newbery Medal for this portrayal of a heroine whom readers will admire for her unwavering sense of truth as well as her infinite capacity to love. You start out in a book, and Kit is on a ship called the Dolphin from Barbados to Connecticut. And like the first chapter or so, she's doing her travels there. And you already kind of find out she is not your typical woman of this time. She can read, she can write.
Woo!
Yeah.
Not typical. She can read and write.
Breaking
all the rules.
She is also traveling alone.
Oh.
She's all alone. So she's you find this out a little bit later, but she's coming from Barbados to Connecticut to live with her aunt and uncle because she was living in Barbados with her grandfather and he passed. And so her aunt, at I'm pretty sure a young age, I think, met her uncle and moved to America to live. So she's never really seen her, not for a very long time, is my understanding. So she's just kind of, here we go. She got on this ship, all alone, single female, and she kind of took up with, I can't remember what they call them, good woman? Good. Anyways, she took up with a lady who was also traveling. She was traveling to a different town than what Kit was traveling to. But she kind of made friends with her. That woman wasn't as much of a stickler as a lot of the other women were of that time. So they kind of got a little friendship going. And then she also struck up a friendship with one of the shipmen. His name is Nate, and you kind of meet him again later on in the book as well. But she had told the captain and everything that she had wrote her aunt and uncle, and they knew she was coming. They docked at that first town first, and then they had to re-go up. And, like, of course, during this time, it was wind.
Yeah.
So they were... It talks about they got stuck. And apparently, like, this town to the town she was going to wasn't that far, but, like, it took them a long time to get there just because they lost the wind.
Oh,
And she,
God.
like, is talking to Nate, and she's like, how do you stand this? And he's like, it's just part of what it is, you know, and like, you just kind of really get to see what traveling was like back then.
Nope.
Like, and so they finally dock, and she gets off board, and they take her to, I can't remember who walks her to her aunt and uncle's. Somebody delivers her. Like, she can't just walk herself for some reason, whatever
Like she's
reason.
a freaking package.
Yeah. And they knock on the door, and they find out Aunt and Uncle, she never did right because she was worried Uncle would say no. And you come to find out that she was actually kind of running from Barbados because when her grandfather passed away, he owed some money. So, like, she had to sell his estate and everything they owned, and he was well off.
Yeah.
But she had to sell everything to pay his debts, so she didn't have anything. And then there was this older gentleman that was wanting to marry her, and she did not want to marry him.
Yep.
So that's why she was like, yep, I've talked to my family. They said it's good. Let's go.
I'm off to America.
So she explained, like, the aunt is like, oh, you know, she's happy to see her, whatever. Uncle is a little more, he's very gruffy, if that's even a word. Like,
he's not like a, oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, he was like,
what are you doing here?
Kind of like, what are you doing here? Like, and then she explained, you know, that she couldn't write and she had to get out of Barbados, and he was like, we would never turn you away, your family.
Well, that's good.
But he still, like, was not like, yay, because then you start to figure out, and, like, I'm not good with history, so some of this is, like, it's not confusing, but confusing to me. So, like, this is a time period when you've got the Kingsmen and the non-Kingsmen. So,
Yeah.
like, she coming from Barbados, and her grandfather was very much a king loyalist. But Matthew, her uncle,
Is not. That
So that is some of the turmoil that they've got going on in the house. And also, she's come from Barbados. She's got gorgeous silk dresses, and these people are pretty much Puritans. Very simple. Their dresses, they're very modest. You know, you can't be flamboyant when you go to the meetings. You're there for God. You don't show out. So, like, not long after she first gets there, she's opening her trunks. Like, they were floored by how many trunks she had when she traveled. I think she had like 4 or 5, and they were like, this is all yours. And she was like, yeah, I ride with style. And,
like, what'd you think?
She's got 2 girl cousins, Mercy and Judith. And she's, like, unpacking the dresses, and she's like, oh, you would look great in this one. And they're trying on dresses and everything. The one cousin is like, oh, I can't wait for William to see me in this. And Dad, Matthew, Uncle comes in and is like, no.
Nope.
No. None of my daughters will be caught out in that flashy flamboyantness. So they already kind of get off to a rocky start right there. In fact, he's like, Kit, you can't wear any of it. And she's like, I don't have anything else. And the girls, as modest as they all live, they don't have a ton of extras either. So she does end up wearing one of her less flamboyant dresses to church because she looked at him and she was like, either I wear one of these or I don't go to church.
And back then, that was a big
And
thing.
he was like, yeah, I mean, like, they literally, like, wrote you up if you didn't go to meeting. So, and you went multiple times a week. Like, there was Sunday meeting, and then there's a Thursday, I think. And then I feel like there's one in the beginning of the week, too.
Probably Tuesday.
That's maybe. So, they kind of butt heads from the very beginning, because Kit is also strong-willed, too. I mean, her grandfather raised her raised her to have a mind of her own. He's the reason that she knows how to read. He's the reason she knows how to write. I mean, he taught her all that. In these times, if a woman is to read, if she is to read, it is only the Bible.
Yeah.
And her grandfather had a library full of novels and stuff, and she talks about reading those, and Uncle Matthew is like, no, none of that here. And so it's kind of iffy for a little while. So, but Aunt Rachel she's very kind, very meek, mild, and just kind of goes with the flow. She kind of just takes Matthew as he is, kind of thing. And Kit doesn't really see, like, why she puts up with what she puts up with. And, like, he's not mean, but like, of course, the women take care of the house while he's out doing stuff. And then he comes in for lunch and he wants it there and he wants it done. And, like, they must have that done. And, like, just like when he come in and threw a fit over the dresses everywhere and dinner wasn't done or lunch or something. And, Rachel was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And, like, is, like, flitting around and, like, getting it done. And Kid is just like, what is the deal? And she's like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, kind of thing,
Ew.
So you've got kind of that going on. Mercy, the oldest of the two cousins, also does have some sort of disability of some sort. They don't really say what it is, but it makes it sound like she can't walk well, I don't think.
Okay.
And, like, during the winter and stuff, like, she is able to miss meetings and everything because she can't go out in the weather and all that stuff. So, like, she stays home for certain stuff. But they began, William, the one that Judith likes, actually Kit catches his eye at the meeting the first night, and he starts, like, calling on her and coming over and sitting with them. And then John Holbrook, which is another guy that came over on the ship, I forgot about him.
Okay.
He was coming over to learn under the minister, to learn under him for his religious knowledge, and apparently he's a doctor. I guess back then they did both.
Yeah, think about Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, that's where I went with it. So he was, like, coming over to study under him.
Okay.
Well, he also come over, and he come over, I think, just to talk to Matthew about stuff. But Judith gets it in her mind that he's calling on her. Yeah. And secretly, Mercy likes him.
What's the name of the kid, Mercy? Like, they name these kids, these Puritan kids, Mercy all the time, and I'm like, that's such an awful name.
You're gonna meet a Prudence, too.
Ugh.
And Kit's full name is Catherine.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah. But then, like, they get into a routine. Kit starts doing stuff in the house. She starts learning to cook. She starts learning to clean. They get her some more modest clothes. She kind of just falls into the routine. They start working on the fields and everything. And when she starts working on the fields, because it's like their fields aren't near their house.
Oh, okay.
So, like, when they walked over to the fields, they were like, I guess it's a very pretty area, and there's, like, this cottage shack thing off to the back of it, and she asked what that was, and she was told that was where the Witch of Blackbird Pond lived. She was like, witch? And they're like, yeah, we can't explain it, but, like, this house has flooded, and she survived, and all this stuff, and she's a witch. And so Kit's like, okay. And they just kind of go on. Well, one day she's really down, and she just kind of goes for a walk and ends up in the fields. And she explained it as, like, something was calling to her. And I can't remember if she ended up going up to the witch's house or if the witch met her in the meadows. But regardless, she meets her, and she gives her this yellow cake.
Oh.
And Hannah gives everybody this yellow cake when they're apparently spiraling. And this yellow cake just heals stuff.
Who's Hannah?
The witch.
Okay, my bad.
And then she starts visiting her. Because she finds out she's not a witch. She is a marked lady because she is a Quaker. She does not go to the meetings. She does not believe in the things they believe in. So she is marked, like, physically marked. They've marked her. And so it's kind of along the lines, just somewhere along the lines it got twisted, she was a witch. Her husband and her built that house, and they've lived out there since they were kind of banished.
Oh, because they're Quakers.
Yeah. And she just lives out there with her fat yellow cat. And
sounds peaceful.
Yeah, honestly.
What happened to her husband?
He passed.
Oh, okay.
But she just kind of finds people in their need, just like Kit. And so Kit starts coming out there and just kind of visiting her, taking her stuff. Aunt Rachel discovers that she's going out there, and like sometimes they have like extra food or whatever, and she's like, take
like
this.
do something with that. Wink.
Yeah. And obviously Uncle Matthew would lose his mind. So then she discovers like Hannah, or the witch, has these like trinkets all through her cottage, and like she discovers some of them that like look like they come from Barbados, and so she starts questioning her about it, and come to find out Nate also this is gonna sound weird, was in a time of need and ate some yellow cake. So he was really down and having a hard time, and she found him. And so now, anywhere he goes in his travels, he brings her back a little something when they port there, because they always come back there for port. I guess it's their home port.
Oh, okay.
So she's starting to see him again when he comes in to give her stuff, and like you can kind of tell there's something growing there, but they don't really touch on it a whole lot because she's courting William, and William has decided already he's building a house and has started importing all these extremely nice things, and the Dolphins having to bring it in from all these other countries, and because like William's got money.
Did you say the Dolphins?
The Dolphin. That's the ship she came in on.
I was like...
Dolphin is the name of the ship.
Okay, gotcha.
That Nate is on.
Okay.
So he's seeing all this stuff coming in for William. And, like, everybody knows what this building a house means.
It means you're about to marry. Yeah.
And Kit's like, what is the big deal? And Judith is like, he has always said he would not do anything with that property until he has decided. And she's like, he's decided. He's building a house. And she's like, he's decided what? Like, they literally just sit every night and, like, stare at each other. There's no real connection there at all. They don't talk. And so Kit's like, well, he's decided what? Like, he's not even talked to me hardly. And so, like, there's that going under. She's trying to figure out. She kind of is thinking of just going with it because it gets her out of her uncle's house. He's got money, so he would have servants. So, which she's used to in Barbados. And she's like, hey, I don't have to work the fields anymore.
Doesn't speak to you, has money, has servants, built you a house. I mean...
he, at one point in the book, was on the king's side. Because him and Uncle Matthew would have big debates. So, he actually kind of has your views.
The only red flag would be, is he gonna hit me?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, like, at this point...
In those days, I'm pretty sure that was a
common thing.
That's probably a surefire bet anyway around it.
But, I mean, if he don't speak to you...
Yeah.
Is he gonna be around you to hit you?
Yeah, are you gonna be able to make him mad to hit you?
I don't know. This is looking good.
Yeah.
Out of your options.
Obviously, he's gonna let you read.
Yeah.
Because he didn't seem to mind that you could read. So, I don't know. She's going with it. She's, at this point, she's like, okay, whatever. The only thing she's really worried about is Judith likes him. Okay. So she's like...
Can I do that? Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of just swooped in here and took my cousin's man. But then Judith sets her eyes on John Holbrook. Because she's like, oh, well, he'll have his own church one day. And his
So this is like Little Women, but Puritan style.
See, I've never read Little Women.
Oh, that's right. It's really good. I should let you read it, honestly. It's very small. Yeah, it's really small.
Why did I think that was a big book?
I don't know. I did too. It's probably because they normally print it out in large book print. Like the whole sister, man, this is our life. It all revolves around getting married.
Yeah, pretty much.
Supporting the husband, supporting the church, run the household.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but yours has a witch thrown into it.
Yeah.
And yellow cake.
Who's not a witch? She's never been she's never cast any kind of spells. Unless it's the cake.
She's like, have some cake. It'll make you feel better.
Feeding people cake. And some reason
you want some
she's
cake?
a witch.
Oh,
I know there's symbolism there. I know, because like you said, it was wrote.
Yeah.
You can tell it's wrote for school.
Yeah.
Because the whole time I was reading it, I was like, I'm going to have a worksheet on this, and I'm going to have to tell the symbolism, and I don't understand symbolism. I'm terrible.
I do if I sit down and really, if I know I'm looking for it, I can find it. But if I'm not, trying to look for it, I don't.
I know the cake is symbolism for some. Good nature?
Friendship?
Don't judge a book by their cover? I don't know. I'm throwing out all the... I don't know.
You were that kid that was like, friendship, good nature, being honest, being good. Good?
Yeah, I don't know. So, because Kit knows how to read and write, Mercy does the dame school in the summer months, and Kit begins helping with that. So, all the kids in the community that the parents allow come over, and they call them horn books, or they start learning their letters, and they learn to write, specifically their name, and then eventually they learn to read. Well, one day Kit is out in the fields, and she sees this really scrawny, very dirty little girl, and she's picking her brain and stuff, and come to find out, her parents won't allow her go to dame school, but she's of age for it.
Yeah.
And she made mention how she really wanted to, but her mom said she couldn't because she had work to do. And so Kit mentions that if she finishes up her work early one day, she can meet her under this tree outside of the witch's house.
Oh.
And so...
have some cake.
The witch gives her cake.
Gives her cake?
Gives her cake. And then she starts meeting at Hannah's house for lessons.
Aww.
And she starts teaching her in there. Not Hannah, but Kit. She'll meet her out there, and she talks about it. She flies through the lessons. She's a very smart girl and everything. And so she kind of takes her under her wing. Her name is Prudence. But then Kit starts getting almost kind of a guilty feeling, because she knows she's led this child to the witch's house. And even though she knows she's not a witch, but she knows if her parents were to find out,
they would freak out.
She's put this child in a position, so she starts feeling guilty about that, and she's got that underlying. Well, then something comes over the village. All of these kids start getting sick. Mercy starts getting sick. Judith even goes down. Kids are dying. And of course...
it's the witch's fault.
It's the witch's fault. So they come to Matthew's house, and they're like, we've got to take out this witch. She's killing people. And she's cast a spell on the village, and Kit hears them and is freaking out.
Yeah.
And she's like, she would never do that. She's not even a witch. And, she's just losing her mind. So Matthew is like, go to your room, hush. And he's taking up for her, and is like, she would not do that. She's lived out there on her own. She doesn't mess with any of it. This is not a witch thing.
Yeah.
And so he's a little more open-minded than he really seems in the beginning of the book. He really comes around. Towards the end of the book, I really do like him. He really comes around, especially for Kit. So Kit was sent to her room, but she didn't go to her room. She ran out the back and ran to Hannah's house to warn her. And while she was on her way to warn her, they had made it out there and had lit her house on fire. Just imagine those little... yeah. Ding! Another book with a house on fire. I don't think I read them without a house fire.
Oh.
I can't remember the last book I read that didn't have a house on fire. Probably one you gave me.
No, there's even a house fire in one of those. Oh,
yeah,
that's the next one. Never mind.
Oh. So she gets Hannah out. Well, then here comes Nate, He's in, like, the harbor. And so she's trying to think of how to get Hannah out, like, try to get Nate's attention to get Hannah out, because she just knows that he can take her to that port that was before theirs, and that the woman, I cannot remember her name, that she befriended on the ship, she was like, she can live with her. They'll get along great. It'll be perfect. Like, she just needs to get out. Well, she finally flags down Nate, and he jumps overboard to get her, and because she floundered around in the water to get his attention. And he was like, what are you doing? And she was like, they've lit her house on fire. You know, rapid fire gives them all the information. He comes and gets her, and then Hannah, of course, is like, my cat.
My cat.
So Kit was like, it's Cat. It's fine. And he was like, she wants the cat. She's getting the cat. So this man goes back and gets the cat. Well, they all get to safety. She makes it to the other port, and all is well with her. But the townspeople are mad because they never found her body. So they assume, their logic is that the cat is a familiar, and they swear they saw it running away with a rat in its mouth. So she had turned into a rat. The cat ran away with her. That's how she made it out alive. And because she wasn't there to stand trial, her best friend must stand trial now, which is Kit.
What?
Yeah. And a whole lot happens with that. They bring evidence of where she was teaching Prudence to read and write, and it looked like she was going down. I'm not going to tell you which way it goes, but
You kind of did.
well, I kind of just did. Well, and in the beginning I said it was a happy ending, so I kind of already told you guys. But I won't tell you how it wraps up. But it's good. It's really good. It's all the way up until the end you think, oh, I don't know how she's going to get out of this.
Yeah.
But her people came for her and really stood behind her. Uncle Matthew really did. Because he's on, like, the board and stuff. And he's just like, listen, this is not what's going on. She did not bewitch the entire village. Like, her cousins are getting better. Their
Yeah.
fevers are breaking. They're fine. Like, it was a major illness, whatever it was. I don't know.
They didn't name it.
There ain't
so
no
many
telling back
things,
then
yeah.
what it was. But, so yeah. You really didn't talk about the witch very much.
It wouldn't be like a witch. It
It
was
wasn't
just,
even spooky.
it's like a
And
metaphor
it
for witch.
snowed. It wasn't even like
Summer.
a... Well, it was summer in the beginning, and then we went through a complete year. So, but it wrapped up good. I would definitely recommend it. It is not, for me, it was not a quick read. It should have been, because of the size. It was not bad. Not spooky at all. Not even the
Whoops.
least little bit. I'm going to go find that list that I looked on and leave a review.
You know what? I was actually, when I was doing this, when I was thinking of like the honorable mentions, there was a list I found, and a lot of it was like not spooky stuff.
No, I thought it would be more witch trial.
Like-
I mean, there was a witch trial,
But it was in the very end.
but it was the very end, and it wasn't even a real witch.
But there was one.
Of course, I guess most of the witch trials back then weren't real witches.
But there was one that was like Legends and Lattes, and I went,
What?
it's about an ogre and someone else, and it's like more like Dungeons and Dragons. Like an ogre opens up a coffee shop type deal.
Stop.
They said it's not like I don't think it's spicy, but
Ew.
like she has like a girlfriend. I don't know.
Zombie sex, now ogre sex.
Oh my god. So let me tell you before I get into this thing. I was thinking, I started chuckling the other day, cause you know how we were talking about, we were like, zombies aren't for smut? Bob's Burgers, Tina, she writes zombie smut. I knew it had to be out there somewhere.
I knew.
I forgot.
I don't know why I didn't think of Tina.
I don't know why I didn't think of that at all. I was sitting there and I was watching. It wasn't even a Halloween episode. They were sitting there and they always talk about how like they're reading Tina's fan fiction and they're like, "What's with all the zombie butts?"
That girl.
But I went through some lists and picked out. Some of these were on my TBR. Some of these are not on my TBR. Some of them popped up, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds cool." So I've got 6 here. Obviously, I've not read any of them, so I'm not gonna spend a ton of time. So this is in no particular order. I'm just gonna go down through the list. First one is "There's No Way I'd Die First" by Lisa Springer. And synopsis is 17-year-old Noel Lane knows horror. Every taupe, every tactic. She throws the ultimate Halloween party with top influencers and a killer clown for fun. But when the clown goes rogue, Noel must prove she's the final girl in the deadly game of survival, where her horror knowledge might be her only chance. I was like, that sounds
cool.
really cool.
How long is that one?
That one is, if you're reading a book,
I'm all about the size.
304 pages.
Okay.
Or audiobook, 8 hours and 44 minutes long.
I can do that.
So, that one's doable. Next one is The Taking of Jake Livingston by Ryan Douglas. 16-year-old Jake Livingston sees dead people everywhere, but he can't decide what's worse, being a medium forced to watch the dead play out their last moments, or being at the mercy of a racist teacher as one of the few black students at St. Clair Prep. Both are a living nightmare where he wishes he could just wake up from. But things at St. Clair's start looking up with the arrival of another black student, the handsome Alistair. For the first time, romance is on the horizon for Jake. Unfortunately, life as a medium is getting worse. Though most ghosts are harmless, Sawyer Doone wants much more of Jake. Suddenly, everything Jake knows about the dead world goes out the window as Sawyer begins to haunt him. So I guess he's got like a ghost crushing on him and is following him around.
And keeping him from having romance?
I guess so. So I guess it's like a spooky romance, but not like that. More like he's being haunted by a ghost while he's trying to start, like a high school crush. That'd be awful.
Also, is his crush on the new guy?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is, okay.
Male character.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just throwing that out there.
Okay. What is this one? That one is 256 pages and 7 hours and 30 minutes long if you're listening. That one's small. Now, for one of Sarah's favorite authors, You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose.
I heard it's got a crazy twist.
Oh, its listening hours is 8 hours and 1 minute, or 317 pages. And synopsis is, you've opened up your house and your heart to a total stranger. What could possibly go wrong? Grace Evans, an overworked New Yorker looking for a total escape from her busy life, books an Airbnb on a ranch in the middle of Wyoming. When she arrives the idyllic getaway, she's pleased to find that the owner is a handsome man by the name of Calvin Wells, and he's eager to introduce her to the easygoing way of life. But there are things Grace discovers that she is not too pleased about: a lack of cell phone service, a missing woman, and a feeling that something isn't quite right at the ranch. Despite her uneasiness, the two bond and start falling for one another. However, as her departure date nears, things change for the worse. What began as a playful romance soon turns into a complicated web of lies. Grace grows weary of Calvin, and his infatuation of her seems to have been morphed into obsession. Calvin fears that Grace is hiding something from him, including her reason for staying at his ranch to begin with. Vacation flings typically end in a heartbreak, but for Grace and Calvin, it'll be far more destructive. I figured that one I actually might read after you read it. 'Cause I was like, ooh.
I love Genevieve.
She's
still not had her baby, by the way, if anybody's tracking Genevieve's baby.
How could you not have had your baby?
She's still twirling pregnant.
I feel like she's been pregnant.
Unless she's not updated, she twirled the other day across the thing and said, yep, still pregnant.
Good God, I feel like she's been pregnant for like
she's
18
gotta
months.
be at the end.
She's gotta be right there at it.
Yeah.
Is this her first?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I was gonna say, I could have see, she's been pregnant so long, I'm like, is this her second child?
No, I think this is still her first, I think.
Did we move on to the next one?
She's probably also feeling that way.
I mean, I understand. I've never had kids, but I understand some people are like, I feel like I could have had 3 babies by now.
Yeah. When they get real comfortable in there, it gets a little rough.
The next one is, this one I put on because as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta put that on there because it was one of my favorite Netflix TV shows. And that is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson.
That's a book?
That is a book. All of those shows that are related like that are all book related. But those,
Well, I knew like the one was like, but this one is like, the whole thing is based on a book?
loosely based on it.
Okay.
Here again, I've never read it. It's actually, I think it's free through Audible, and it's only 7 hours and 25 minutes long, and it's 208 pages. So, and the description's very short. It is the story of 4 seekers who arrive at the notorious unfriendly pile called Hill House. Dr. Montague, an occult scholar looking for solid evidence of a haunting, Theodora, the light-hearted assistant, Eleanor, the friendless, fragile young woman well acquainted with poltergeists, and Luke, the future heir to Hill House. At first their stay seems destined to be merely a spooky encounter with unexpected phenomena, but Hill House is gathering its powers, and soon it will choose one of them to make it its own. So, if you've seen the TV show,
sounds pretty.
all of those names match. Theodora, Eleanor, Luke, all of those are the names of the kids. So obviously they took the names and they kind of rewrote it, but I don't know, I think the TV show's great. It's
I love it. I watch it every year.
I watch it every year. I sometimes watch it in the summer. I also I know the Bly Manor is also
I like that one too.
Is also a book.
Is that the one?
That's the one where
the nanny comes?
Yeah, the nanny.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
they go to the pond.
Follow the House of Usher. All of those episodes, if you don't know, Follow the House of Usher on Netflix. Stephanie can learn to talk. Each episode is based off of an Edgar Allan Poe poem or book.
I knew that.
So,
because of you.
Because of me. So, if you ever want something, I will say though, maybe, parents,
I do not watch it in front of my kids.
Yeah, don't watch it in front of your kids. 1, because it's spooky. 2, sometimes language, drug use.
Yeah, that
kind of
one, where they're taking them out, like the one that, they get, I just remember the club scene.
Yeah, with the acid rain.
Yes.
Yeah, that one freaked me out. I fast forwarded.
A kid out.
I was like, oh my God.
No, I can't do that one in front of the kids.
But a good lesson, listen to your parents.
This is true.
Because he said, don't use that because we've got chemicals there. And he died. So, just kidding.
Listen to Mom.
Just kidding, but also not really. So this one is Only the Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. It is 8 hours and 37 minutes long, or if you're reading it, it is 320 pages.
Oh.
It's a little thick. It's still not I left the biggest one for last.
That's still in my...
Okay, fans of Stephen King will love this story as it follows the lives of 4 American Indian men and their families, all haunted by a disturbing, deadly event that took place in their youth. Years later, they find themselves tracked by an entity bent on revenge, totally helpless as the culture and traditions they left behind catch up to them in a violent, vengeful way. So that one I thought would be really interesting because I don't know about y'all. I've always been fascinated by Native American culture and storytelling. Yeah. So and they're always like skinwalker tales have always fascinated me. There's another one I didn't put on here because it's a collection of stories and it wasn't just one, and it's kind of big, but I want to say it's called Don't Whistle in the Dark or Never Whistle at Night, something like that. It's something close to that.
Never whistle at night.
Because, that's what they always say. They said,
I mean, I try to make not any noise at night. I can't even take out the trash to the dumpster at night. It freaks me. I get in my own head. I think someone's out there killing me. I can make it.
It's like 20 feet.
I can make it to the dumpster, but then by the time I'm making my way back, I'm like, someone's out there.
Oh, it's called Don't Whistle at Night. And from what I understand, it's got multiple authors, and they said it's really, really good. And I think it's on all indigenous authors. I think of different really cultures. Cool. I thought that would be kind of cool. Yeah, the biggest for last. I'm going to read the page number first.
I read that number right upside down. It is never getting read by Sarah.
It is probably never getting read by Stephanie because it doesn't even have an audiobook. So, audiobook is 0. Physical book, 710 pages. And it's called House of Leaves by Mark Z. Delinsky? Yeah, I don't know. But it says a young family moves into a small home on Ash Tree Lane where they discover something is terribly wrong. Their house is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Of course, neither prize-winning photographer Will Nevison nor his companion, Karen Green, was prepared to face the consequences of the impossible until the day their two children wandered off and their voices eerily began to return. Another story of creature darkness. That's what it says. I think that's typed out wrong. Of creature darkness, of an ever-growing abyss behind a closet door, and of the unholy growl which soon enough would tear through their walls and consume all of their dreams. Hopefully.
Well, I'll never be able to read the book anyway, so.
All I think about, and even the picture on,
I do have to look up pictures because I don't care what they say. I judge it by its cover.
it looks like, you know how we read 14?
Yeah.
The cover looked almost eerily like that, but instead of a lock, it was a doorknob.
Ugh.
I was like, what? And I was immediately like, listen, once I saw the paperback cover, I've actually seen some of the kids, the 8th grader kids, reading it, and they said it is the most amazing book they've ever read. Now,
if 8th graders could read it, maybe I need to.
Now,
they've got so much more time than me.
I'm like, do you know how long it took me to read Game of Thrones?
If I don't have to take care of anything else, I mean, yeah, I don't have to take care of children this summer, but I still have a house.
Well, even,
and a husband. He likes attention. Really.
I love to read, but every now and then I also like to watch TV.
That happens to me when the boys are gone too, because then there's all this stuff that I can't. So then I'm like, what do I do?
Because you're a good parent and censor your stuff, so you're like, I don't want to watch this from a kid. I'll wait
And
till
I like to go to sleep, so I'm not one that stays up too late watching TV when they go to bed because I love my sleep. Anyways.
Those are my 6.
This is one I didn't even think about. I probably should have read this instead of The Witch of Blackbird Pond, but at last I read The Witch of Blackbird Pond, and I'm glad I did. Go Kit and the rest of them. So, but this one, and I am not going to be able to say this author's name. Okay, so this is Such Quiet Girls, a thriller by Noelle West E. Lee. And I have seen this ever since we've started the podcast. Like all these book groups have started coming on my Facebook. They show them to me all the time. And so I've been getting a lot of my recommendations, my to be read lists from them. And this is one that's popped up a lot on the psycho thriller ones that are on my page. And because I'm crazy. And so this is the synopsis. It is 10 children abducted in broad daylight and buried alive. Sage and her sister won't make it home from school today. Neither will the other children on bus 315. But that's only the beginning of the nightmare. New bus driver Jessa blames herself for what happened. She couldn't protect the children she was supposed to deliver to daycare. Just like she couldn't protect her own daughter 3 years ago. But this time everything will be different. It has to be. Trapped in a shipping container buried 20 feet underground, Jessa and the children do their best to stay calm. The kidnappers insist that if everyone behaves, they'll be freed when the ransom is paid. But Sage isn't sure they'll last that long. Neither is Jessa. It's dark and cramped, and with every passing minute, it gets harder to breathe. With time and air running thin, Jessa and the children must find a way to outsmart their captors or face an unthinkable fate. Such Quiet Girls was inspired by actual events.
Nope. I gotta listen. I got to think about being buried. That's why for a long time, until we went to New Orleans, I was like, put me in a tomb. And then I found out those things are like pizza ovens.
Yeah, they melt you.
And they burn you alive. Just slowly.
I was fine with that. Okay, bury me and let me just roast there. I'd probably go. I mean, if it's like a sunburn, I'd probably roast pretty quickly. Would it work the same way?
I would assume so.
I mean, I'd probably melt away pretty quick.
Oh, we're just gonna go. It wouldn't take years. It takes Sarah months.
Yeah, Sarah would just melt really fast. But the part that got me is the fact that
they just shovel you around.
They just shuffle you, and then here comes the new one.
Well, that's when you get family ones.
I don't want y'all on me. I love you, all of you, but I don't want your bodies mixed with my body.
You have your own shelf.
But I thought they said something about it like you just like burn on top of each other. Don't you?
I think they kind of like move you around like pizzas on a rack.
What if you die like at similar times?
They put you on the other side.
Like, I still have questions. Also, did you watch that documentary about the funeral business on Netflix?
About the organs? About the organs?
I can't remember who it was, but he got in trouble for cremating a bunch of people in, like, he was just throwing them in, like, mass. And then, like, just giving people an urn. And he was like, I don't understand the big deal. They're dead.
Okay, so back to my original story.
Sorry.
I was gonna say I watched that to the first trauma thing my sister said.
Here for your trauma.
So, I watched that movie that was like based on real events about the Chilean,
The coal miners.
yeah, that like the whole time I was going, I'll be fine unless it gets dark. I'll be fine unless it gets dark. And then it got dark, and I was like, like even for those actors, they said they went through a lot of like, it was really nerve-wracking because they had to pretend
Yeah.
that they truly were underground, and they said that wasn't too bad, but they said when they turned off the lights and were like recording us just by sound, no.
Probably read this book, but if like they were ever to make it a movie, no, thank you. No, thank you. Also, I didn't realize it was based on actual events until I just read that.
I can't.
Which kind of freaks me out. Like, where are they burying containers of children? Why haven't I heard about this?
Why haven't we heard about this? We need to know these things.
I'm very thankful my kids just ride the bus around a corner. I mean, I don't think anybody here would steal a bus and put them in a shipping container. But I mean, where would they do that anywhere? Like, why would they choose that?
Did you say 20 feet down? Wouldn't someone notice someone?
Like, how do you get a shipping container 20? I gotta read the book now. It's done. I gotta read it.
Well,
signed, sealed, and delivered. Read. Signed, sealed, delivered.
And then I'm going like my mind is reeling with what were you talking about? The men were just shoving people in fire.
Yes, he wasn't. Okay, so you're supposed to. The proper way to cremate is you get your own burn.
Yeah.
And then you scrape out those ashes, and your family gets those.
I thought you couldn't even pile a body on top of a body.
This mother trucker did, and he was just like shoving them in there, and because it cost so much money to burn them, and he was given like the funeral homes discounted rates, and like so everybody was using him, and then it comes to light, and he's like, I don't understand the problem. He's like, they're gonna have little pieces mixed in anyways, because you can't get it completely clean. So then, like, on all these psycho thriller things that I'm on, people are like, hey, is this true? And the crematory people come on and are like, no. Like, they're like, you've got to scrape it out after each person. They said, and if you've got a good crematory, they're going to try and get literal every last bit that they can. Like, of course, there's going to be
bones,
dust.
Yeah.
No, the bones go away. They burn them.
Yeah, but you still get like little chunks. Unless they put you through a shifter.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like a kid at the beach. Can you imagine? I'm just saying. So,
do you know how hot you have to fire to burn bones?
I know, that's why they gotta take it to a special. Do they still go in the urn?
I thought they reburned some of them. Oh, I thought they like did a double burn.
My work is right by a funeral home. And I have learned so many things about cremating that I've never wanted to learn before. But did you know that it's really dark smoke when you're fat?
I remember you telling me that.
There's a grease fire. It causes a grease fire.
I gotta leave this. I don't even care if this like goes over our hour. I gotta leave this whole portion in.
The Mortician. It's HBO, not Netflix, and
Okay.
it's called The Mortician. And I think it's supposed to. There's a second episode.
There's only one episode.
Yes, apparently I didn't know it when I. Well, there's 3. I got it. Yeah, when I
She's gotta go now.
I gotta go. Bye. I gotta find out. Apparently, I thought it was like a series that dropped all at once, but I made the mistake and just watched the first episode. The other two hadn't been out. I don't know how many episodes.
Is it still the same dude?
Yes.
How traumatizing.
He's trying to like talk about how he's done nothing wrong. And then he's like, well, they're not in there anyways. And I'm like, okay, sure, I get that. But like, I don't want to carry around somebody else's ashes.
This is only half of Grandpa. Someone else's uncle's in here too. Like,
but yeah, like he's been convicted, but like I don't think somehow he got off. I think I don't know. You'll have to watch it.
I was thinking, now you'll have to watch it.
I gotta watch it.
Finish it.
I'm gonna watch it tonight during dinner. Buckle up, Andy. We gotta watch the Mortician.
Hope you have a great Tuesday. Hope you have a great week. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.